Hi there, my name's Karen Plasway, and I'm just going to give you a brief overview of my interpretation of copyright infringement from the research that I've done so far. So, copyright infringement is the act of one person distributing, selling, renting, or benefiting from another person's creative works that has been copyrighted. So let's just back this up a little bit and talk about the Copyright Act of Canada. Did you know that Canada did not have a Copyright Act until 1921? Previously to that, with my research, I found that Canada actually was under the imperial copyright law established by Britain in 1832. So it wasn't until 1921 when Canada copied their law, and it wasn't even amended or anything until 1988, 1987, and 2012, when there were substantial amendments that were made to accommodate the technological advancement of in all society. So in protecting the copyright, it's protecting that person who invented or created their creative works, whether it be digital nowadays, books, textbooks, videos, you name it. So long as it's copyrighted, they have the rights to when it's used and how it's used. So yeah, that was really interesting to find out. So the owner of the copyright needs to give consent. So if there's no consent, that would be infringement of the copyright. The secondary infringement is when somebody else uses it and has personal monetary gain by the sale, rental, and distribution of the original creator's works. Interesting. Now, in order for this infringement to have some say and for the creator to establish that they have a case of copyright, they have a time period. The time period actually is within and no later than 2 years after the time when the offense was committed. So who makes the decision if this conviction goes through? So that's where actually the Copyright of Canada is governed by the Royal Society of Canada, and therein they have the council, the executive committee, as well as the accounts of all task force and committees. So within those is the Copyright Board, which consists of 5 members: the Governor and Council of the Royal Society of Canada, a chairman that must be a judge or retired judge. The vice chairman also can be a judge or retired judge. Then there is also the board members, in which one has to be a federal public administration employee for the Aeronautics Act. The other board member, would also need to be a federal employee for the Public Service Superannuation Act. So those are the 5 in which each case goes before, and it's for them to establish if they are guilty or not guilty of copyright infringement. The punishment on conviction of the indictment of the copyright infringement would result in a fine of not exceeding $1 million or imprisonment not exceeding 5 years, or it can be both. So that's about copyright infringement. These can also be found, my research had brought this from Wikipedia for the Copyright Law of Canada. Then I also went through onto the web page for the Royal Society of Canada to find out about the committees and how one pursues litigation and who actually decides the punishments and whatnot of the copyright infringement. So the Copyright Act is also available on the Government of Canada under the Justice Law website. And so that is the Copyright Act, RSC 1985. So RSC stands for Royal Society of Canada, and that is Bill C-42. And it goes into great depth about the copyright of Canada and the definitions and how it's all laid out. So there we have it. In a very short nutshell is the infringement of copyright. Thank you.